All right, we are live. Welcome back to Melanie Loves Death Metal, but today it's Melanie Loves Black Metal. I am joined by Barry, the Goat Master from that Goat Metal show. Super pumped to do this video today. We're going to be talking all about black metal, a nice little change from my channel. Thank you, Barry, for joining me. Excited to have you. Uh, just wanted to know like what's been up, how you've been doing, what's anything new coming up with the show. Yeah.
Yeah, things have been going pretty well actually. We just did Sunday. We had a live recap show, which was a total disaster because anybody who does lives on a regular, they'll know what to do. We really don't do lives like that, so
Yeah.
finally got a nice little setup to do lives, and I forgot to press stream. I forgot to press the stream button, and we missed out on like the first 7 minutes of our intro. And it was a talk, but it turned out okay. We had a nice little showing in there, and we're gonna try to do more. We were thinking about doing it weekly, but then me, Rich, and Tone, we discussed it, and we were like, you know what? We'll do it maybe once a month. We'll do it once a month, and we'll just do that. So
Yeah.
yeah, whichever
Yeah.
works.
I get told
Whichever
I should
works.
I get told I should live stream more, and I like don't ever, if I do it, it has to be during the week because like on the weekends I'm not usually home a lot, and during the week it's tough to get people on, or like nobody wants to just sit there and listen to me talk for 40 minutes about whatever. So, but yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you for joining me. So today's episode, we're going to be talking about a little bit about how we got into black metal, and just a little bit of a disclaimer here. Barry and I are both, we still consider ourselves both relatively new in the genre of music. We're still exploring it and getting, like I always say, dipping our toes into it and getting more familiar with newer acts and older acts within the scene. For me personally, this channel is mostly death metal, or is death metal, but black metal has been something that I've been, slowly getting into over the last, I don't know, 8, 9 years. But on this channel for the last like 4 years, I've, you know, kind of gone in here and there doing Black Metal Mondays, showing off some of the albums that I've gotten. When I first started the channel, I did a lot more black metal. I was really diving into it then and really into getting into the scene and buying it a lot. And I've slowed down quite a bit, but lately have been getting back into it again. And most of the stuff here, I think I have for the most part is that I'll be talking about today. It's mostly newer releases, just because that's what I do is I listen to a lot of new releases. But yeah, I mean, Barry, I guess my first question is when did you first start listening to black metal? Like, what bands really got you into it? And pretty much the journey to where you are now.
Well, I mean, honestly, me and you had the conversation off camera. Um, I wasn't really a fan of black metal before, to be honest with you. I kind of was, one of the death metal guys that
Mhm.
picked on black metal in the early days. When they had the explosion in the early '90s with Mayhem, and the stuff that was going on in Norway with the church burnings, that was like the big
Mhm.
thing. And I tried to listen to it back then, but I was still like strictly death metal. Like I was super loyal to death metal, so I didn't really give it a chance. I kind of made fun of it. But as the years went on, of course, you get a little older, your tastes get a little bit more, diluted to certain things. You start figuring things out. I gotta say, and it's not a popular choice by most people, of course, especially the hardcore black metal people, would be like Cradle of Filth.
Mhm.
Cradle of Filth, I think, was one of the small little gateways I had. I was working at a music store. I used to get little discounts and stuff. So they had Cruelty and the Beast, and I had heard about Cradle of Filth, so I got a little discount, picked up the album. I fell in love with it. I thought it was a fantastic album, and then I kind of started getting hooked on Cradle of Filth, and so Cradle of Filth. I mean, like I said, hardcore black metal heads don't really put them in there, but their earlier stuff, if you go back before Cruelty and the Beast, they had more of that raw black metal sound that they used to do before. Then from Cradle of Filth, it kind of graduated to like Dimmu Borgir and Behemoth. But again, there during the time when I started listening to their music was before their hardcore black metal style. It's more when they were transitioning more to like that style that, you know, like which one? The Apostle. I that's what I used to listen to. Behemoth and Defco Armageddon from Dimmu Borgir. Those albums I think I kind of got into. And then, of course, you know, like you say, I start getting it. Then, of course, it's more like, okay, you start trickling more and more to certain bands. You had Beherit, Watain, you know, things like that. And then you start going backwards to others. Then you start learning that more appreciation. And then I was like, okay, I wasn't really dabbling into it as much. Or maybe a few little selections here and there. But then I caught the vinyl bug. And thanks to you, and being an influence, one of the vinyl influence people, along with Tone Joker and a few others, I started getting caught up on vinyl. And of course, I felt like when you picked up vinyl, black metal vinyl itself, depending on the band you were picking up, it just had a better feel when you listen to it on vinyl. It gave you a better experience listening to the musicians. You know, as far as the raw and, you know, that style of black metal, I just appreciate it more. And then next thing you know, it just became full fledged. I've been, let me see, I think I bought my first album was Hell's Headbangers. I want to say it was right before Christmas of 2023. So now we're going to, so it's 2 years in. So you can just imagine, I started off with one little bin. Now I got like 5 bins, and my wife is giving me dirty looks. So, you know, you could just imagine, you know, what I've been doing. So, you know, I've been picking up some stuff. There's been some bands that I've, as far as black metal goes, that I've been really into, and I think I've tossed a few recommendations your way as well. And of course, we got, you know, our buddy Lee from Warhammer, who at least he's just. He's just been hooking us up now with, you know, giving the people who are not into black metal, you know, the people like us, to say, hey, you know, let's check that man out. And me and you, I've said it, you said it. This is the band that you go and you say, hey, you know what? Check these guys out if you want to get a feel of black metal. And, you know, not just saying that because Lee is our friend and we're good friends with them. I'm saying it as far as a fan of being a music fan. If you want to get into black metal, pick up any selection, and you know, and I think his everything he's put out has been getting better and better and better, and just gives it a nice feel. And you know, I give a lot of props to them, man. Lee's just going up and up and up, and you know, yeah, it's just fantastic. I finally got mine, and I told you the story how long it took me to get mine, but you know,
yeah, so for me. Let's see here. Being pretty much only predominantly death metal when I was in high school, so however many years ago that was, 20 something years ago now. I remember a lot of my friends were really into Dimmu Borgir and Behemoth and Immortal. Like those were the 3 bands that they would wear their T-shirts. They would, you know, listen to their music and stuff like that. And I never really cared too much for it. The Corpse Paint was appealing because I was such a huge King Diamond fan and also grew up with Kiss. So like that was something, but I remember hearing it and not thinking that this was anything that I'd ever want to listen to. But I'll never forget the one time I was like in the mall, those when that still existed, and Sam Goody was our record store that we would go shopping at. And I remember going there one day and I saw a guy that I went to high school with. He knew I was a metalhead. He was really deep into Norwegian black metal. Like he was so deep into it. And he came out of the store, he saw me, he's like, oh, hey, what's up? He's like, you know, what are you trying to get here? And I probably was trying to get, you know, like probably Cannibal Corpse or something like that, because when I got my own money, I was able to, you know, buy what I wanted to. And they didn't card me at the store, which was amazing. So I'm like 16, 17 years old. Yeah.
Stickers and all
they didn't care. It was because they were high schoolers that worked there, so they didn't give a shit. And I remember he walked out and he's like, you want to listen to real metal? He's like, you want to listen to real evil, just like real evil metal? He's like, you got to listen to this. And he holds up an Immortal album, and I think it was I don't even remember what it was now. And he's like, these guys are the best. And he had a Behemoth shirt on, and I was like, yeah, you know, I don't know if that's really my thing. And so I remember I listened to it because they used to have the headphones there, you could listen to it, and I was like, I don't know, this really isn't my thing. And I kind of like got to the point where like saw the Immortal videos that they put out, the music videos that they put out, and was like, what is this? Like, who are these nerds frolicking around in the forest in the winter wearing this stuff? And yeah, their bullet belts and like it just seemed so nerdy. And so then it got to the point where I was that typical death metal head that would just make fun of and shit on the black metal scene for that reason, because it just I there was nothing that appealed to me. Like, I thought it was nerdy. And it really wasn't until I got out of high school and really started diving more into extreme metal where I actually finally sat down and listened to Behemoth's and the Forest Stream Eternally, which is like one of their first EP or something like that. And I think Metal Blade then eventually picked it up. And I was like, all right, I think I like this, I can get into it. And then Behemoth started being like the supporting act at like almost every single fest I would go to, or every single show. Like, they were just always there, it seemed like. And the first time I ever saw them live, I was like, oh, this is something. Like, this is a different experience than death metal.
They always give good shows. That's one thing. They always give good shows.
It was right before the Satanist came out, so they were still getting that borderline, they're still pretty much black metal at the time. And I mean, people will get mad at me when I say that they're not anymore, but and so that pretty much was what really kind of, like, honestly, Behemoth was really what kind of segued into it. And then I kind of fell off of it because I was really only listening to like the basics, and I didn't like Mayhem, I didn't like Death Crush, I didn't like De Mysterious, because I thought the vocals were weird, and just it was something about it. And then when I finally started my YouTube channel, it's been almost 5 years now, which is crazy to think. A lot of my friends were super into black metal at the time, and they're like, oh, Melanie, like, just give it another try. And so they started sending me stuff. Like, they sent me like Sargeist and Sanguine Relic, and like all of these like really harsh albums to get into if you don't know black metal. And
exactly.
Something really clicked with me when I first ever heard Sargeist, which is like literally, I always say, like, this was pretty much my gateway into like really getting into black metal with Satanic Black Devotion. Something hit me with this where it just kind of put me into like an out of body experience. Like, I finally got a nice like speaker setup, and like it just sounded absolutely incredible. And then after that, I was just hooked, and I started like a lot of like the first like almost 100 videos on my channel. Like, there's so much black metal I showed, and a lot of it is like super raw black metal and everything. So it really was like a long time coming before I got into it. But yeah, I mean, for me personally, now I definitely I really a mood style of music for me. Like, I really have to be in the mood for it, because I just immerse myself in so much death metal and thrash and heavy metal that sometimes it's a really nice like escape to just put it on, especially when it's colder. And it's like 37 degrees in Florida today, which is insane. It never gets that cold.
Wow. Yeah. I just saw flurries outside, man. I went to take the garbage out. Like, oh my God, we got flurries. Damn.
But yeah, I would say honestly, Lee had reached out to me a while ago. He and Masay sent me a package with these two albums in it, his full length, and then a newer EP that came out earlier this year.
Stop Burning. Yeah, that's a good one.
His full length here, really, like, something about this, it's so glossy. I always keep it in the wrap that comes in, because I like the Fomorian sticker. I don't want to get rid of it. When I first heard this, I remember thinking like, okay, this is the style of black metal that I absolutely love. It is so angry. It is so ferocious. His vocals are just, again, I always say this to him, like, I don't know how he does it for so long. And just the riffs and like everything it still has a little bit of that lo-fi experience, but it's not so like lo-fi that you can't hear it. You know what I mean? Like some of these,
he has everything mixed the right way where it just goes with the music. Everything's together.
So I kind of credit this to me really wanting to go back in and try and listen to more black metal. And then of course, and I figured this would probably be the first thing we talked about was his newest EP, Hate Crimes. Honestly, this is like from just from this to this, and there's really not that many months in between these recordings, like just like he has excelled. Like you can just tell he's even like progressed even more within his songwriting, and even just like the lyrical content's so dark and it's so like people see like hate crimes and then if they read the lyrical content like they're like what the hell, and it's like yeah but no, if you think about what's really going on in the world right now, like this is basically that battle cry of like all the shit that's going on in the world right now, and Lee just somehow summarized it into 6 tracks of just unrelenting, evil sounding, aggressive sounding black metal. But he doesn't just stick with that on this. Like he incorporates like almost like a doomier song with Miss A on here, and then that final track with Mordant Revik from Mordant Red, and then Dave from Ghoulish Grin is just like super jammy and like rocking. So he starts to incorporate more of those elements on here.
Yeah,
Just,
and there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. As you know, but and I think I understand what you're saying as far as what his lyrical contact, also what it resonates. I mean, I'm not sure. You know, I've spoken to Lee on a personal level. I don't know if you have as well. There's been a lot of stuff in his history
yeah,
that you sit there and you listen to him and you talk with him. Then you listen to the music and that's when it hit. When I first heard that full length, it hit me. I feel like it really, really hit me. Like, now I'm not trying to get all wussy or anything like that, but it hit me to the level where I just remembered our conversations and how our conversations was, very personal and it resonated. And when I read the lyrics and I listened to the music, I said, "Damn, you could feel it. You really could feel it." And like I said, I give Lee and for more all of them, 1,001 props, and it's like, you just got to keep going, man. I mean, I think that, not that, I mean, that was the other thing too, when it comes to black metal, there's the whole, gatekeeping aspect of black metal, which I'm sure you've had a few in the comment sections, and I've had a few here and there, and whatever, and there's always been maybe one or a few of those channels who always want to stick to that. No, these are not the people you should let in to listen to black, which I still feel is stupid, because if you have music and you trying to put out your music, it's for people to listen and to if they don't like it, then they just don't like it.
yeah,
Then, like me and you, if we heard Warhammer for the first time and we were never into black metal, we're gonna be like, oh shit, it opens a gateway to say, yo, let me try this band out, let me try that band out. And then, that's how everything evolves. You don't keep those people away. You want to open up other people's ears to your music. And to me, with that whole, I mean, look, the gatekeeping thing, I don't know. I just like, I understand it to a degree. For I guess I don't want to be hypocritical when it comes to the thing with gatekeeping, but I can understand to a degree why they say, well, look, I'm not trying to let in a Kardashian into to come to a shirt, wear the Warhammer shirt just so it look good, or something like that. I get those sentiments. But if me being a person who was strictly death metal, hardcore, and thrash, and I'm just trying to dwell into the world of black metal, you're supposed to embrace that, to try to, you want that embracement. But then again, also, it like I said, it's like that. It goes up and down. It goes up and down with that. But yeah,
the biggest thing, just some of the criticism that I've had about showing black metal on my channel is like, one, I'm a woman for whatever reason. That is like a gatekeeping thing. I don't understand that.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Yo,
and then
that's
the
crazy.
the other one is that I don't show like the hateful style of black metal a lot of times, which whatever that means. I mean,
that's yeah. That's it's funny. You mentioned that on one of your episodes where you was trying to figure out that hierarchy of different styles of black metal. Which again, I'm in that boat too. But I know about, was it NSDM? NSBM. I'm sorry, that's National Socialist Black Metal. That's like the when you hear people like Drucifer and Revik, and I'm talking about sketchy. But the sketchy, that's the new thing now, is being sketchy. Those are the sketchy bands. Those are the bands that they're from countries that they're all about their pride, and they maybe talk about other races and stuff like that. And so and look, it's no secret, Tone Joker, he likes a lot of those sketchy bands.
Yeah.
he has his own little collection, which we can't show because
Right.
YouTube and they'll freaking forget it. It'll be a whole big mess. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about some of the bands and stuff like that or whatever. But I'll be one to say, again, everything becomes you tell me not to do it, I'm gonna do it. And I picked up a couple of those sketchy. I found some guy on eBay that was selling them for. He had a list of like 20 bands, and I say out of the 20 bands, 15 of them were sketchy bands. So I started doing my little due diligence, checking on some of those bands, hearing them and stuff. I picked up 4 of the cassettes, and look, for whatever it is that and then the thing is that I think out of the 4 cassettes, 3 of them are in their native language, so I don't understand what the hell they're saying anyway. It doesn't make a damn difference. Yeah, it doesn't make a difference, to be honest with you. Whether they hate Puerto Ricans and they want my head on the spike, I don't care. The music sounds good, so I listen to it, and I go like that. I go with that same sentiment with I don't know. Yeah. I'm sure you remember when Body Count, the first Body Count album came out.
Yep.
Ice-T's a band, right?
Yep.
So he had the album Cop Killer. He had Cop Killer, and he had the whole thing. He got big backlash. Now I'm retired law enforcement, right? So people go, yo, how can you listen to that? He's talking about doing this, and I sit there and I tell them, I say, listen, okay, a lot of the times when you listen to music. Depending on what it is too, because you do have people who are like rightfully hate. They're very hateful.
Right.
But how are you going to take Ice-T seriously when he plays a detective on TV talking about killing cops? How can you take? And I would tell a lot of my colleagues about that. I remember one of my old supervisors got on my case, because he was asking me about that, and people knew my personality, and I said, come on. You got to be a little bit more. Think about that. A lot of times, I'm not saying that some people are not hateful. There are some hateful fucking bands, hateful people, right? Hateful lyrics. But at the end of the day, it's like, well, look, it's music, and you have a choice. Don't listen to it. Don't buy it. Don't give it no. Don't give it no looks. Don't give it no talk. The minute you type something on the internet about it, guess what? You drew somebody else to go and check them out.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's probably what it did to me as well. Because besides Tone Joker being a messed up influence that he is, I said, yeah, you know what? Let me check it out. And like I said, I went and I checked some, and look, the music sounds great. It's great music. Great music, sounds good. I enjoy it. I enjoy the music. Now, will I sit there and want to translate some of the lyrics? No, I won't do it, because if he says he wants to kill a Puerto Rican, I don't want to know he said that.
Yeah.
So, look, people just gotta take it for what it is. And those people who complain about what you shouldn't do, like, just stop that. Stop that.
Yeah,
Look, don't talk about it.
I am very much so. It's probably like one of the more frequent questions that I got is like, what's your stance on NSBM, especially like lately with what's been going on in the metal scene around like, Master, Rick Trez, all that stuff. And I pretty much, I've always been very firm, like obviously in my moral beliefs and my moral convictions, and if it's not a politician that's putting in a law that is stripping away a right that people should have, for the most part, I don't feel like I can really change anybody's mind and I don't ever expect anybody to like me or any of those things. Like it's an art form. And I am very much a person who was raised in the arts. I'm a musician. I was in, I played symphonic band, jazz band, everything. I was in drama club, and like I am very much into the arts, and like a lot of the art styles that I like are very gory and can be very, offensive to people. Like a lot of the shirts that I have, I'm like, I think I have like there's like a dead deer on this one, like with blood everywhere, like
you might have some animal activists outside your door. Careful.
Right. Yeah. So my thing is I don't think you should be allowed to censor art. I think because there is that freedom of speech aspect to it. Like everybody is allowed to have their own thoughts and their own opinions on something. And now whether or not I think it's correct or right, it is not for me to tell them, to be honest with you. Like, obviously, if somebody is coming at me being like, hey, you don't deserve to have marriage, then yeah, I'll debate it. know, but like I think we should allow to have a conversation and be able to have a conversation and have that coexistence within the metal scene. If
I
you're a
agree.
band, yeah, if you're a band and you know that there's a band that has much different values than you do, like, and that this goes far right and far left. Like some far right band might not want to play with a far left band because their politics and their ideals are so different. Like, then just don't do it. Like, just say, yeah, I'm not going to do it, and then leave it at that. I just think that people should be allowed to express themselves, and if you choose to listen to it and support them, that's your choice.
I
That is
agree.
your choice. It is
I
your
agree.
money. It is your choice. Nobody should be directing you how you spend your money, and whether or not you choose to show it off and talk about it is also your choice. And understanding, and people are like, yeah, but you're giving them a platform. There are so many platforms that people have on here that are still like are way shittier, if not,
Yeah.
you know, especially in death metal. Like there are women abusers, and you know, brutal death metal is known for being super misogynist, and they have lyrics about raping women and killing them, and the artwork is like that. And I have probably 50 of those albums in my collection because I like the riffs. I like it's brutal. The vocal style is catchy, you know. So those are the things where I don't really believe in like censorship of the art. So now, do I buy the NSBM stuff? No. I personally, that's my personal preference, and I won't. But I'm not gonna like if I know somebody personally, I know they're not a dirtbag. Like I know they're not, and they're not a hateful piece of shit. So yeah, I that's always like the one thing, and that's always the criticism that I get is I'm not showing hateful enough. I'm showing generic things. It's too happy, and I'm like, there is absolutely nothing happy about this album. Like absolutely
Did,
nothing.
did you see this body that just split in half here? I mean, what are you talking about? Like,
Right. So we can talk about this for an hour. Moving on. So what is? Go ahead and show up an album. What have you been listening to lately that's been
oh, okay.
in?
So, hey, well, I'll show you something. But I gave this recommendation to you, and I think that this to me was, when I got into dealing with vinyls, um, this was the I guess this band kind of like set the tone for me as far as like what I should enjoy as far as, and that's this one, like Primordial,
Yeah.
right? Frowning Carnage. I don't know if you've heard of them. Have you heard of
Yep.
this band?
Yep. I've heard of them. Yep.
Oh my God, this band here, and it's a shame, such a shame that these guys have split up, man. I hear the music and I'm sitting there like, this was like, again, we throw the whole thing. What people want to get, you give them a recommendation. I say Warhammer, Thy Primal. I would throw this band in there all the time, all the time. And then I remember when I first started getting into them, when I saw that they had split up, I was like, damn, man, that really, really sucks. A band like this just split up, and I'm like, dang. But yeah, these guys, I mean, they stick to their sound. There's nothing, base off it. I mean, as far as like, I guess the black metal sound that it goes, but it's, better produced. I guess that, most people figure like the lower produced black metal is supposed to be like the king of all black metal. It sounds like it was recorded in the bathroom, I
It has
guess.
to sound like shit. Yeah.
That's the other thing too, is like, that's like the ultimate raw black metal. I mean, not that I'm making fun of it, but that was always part of the joke too, when it was like, yo, didn't it sound like it was when the toilet making it, but yeah, a band like that. And also this band right here, which I'm sure you probably heard of them, Enthroned.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Classic.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn. It's like, and it gets me that bands like this, you besides the typical black metal bands that, with the names, there's some good black metal names, but they usually be talked about. But a band like this, I'm like, I remember when I started here, I was like, yo, man, you look at their discography, they've been around for so long,
So
and I'm like, shit, good stuff, man. It's really,
yes.
really good stuff.
Some of their stuff is super hard to get too, or like just sells for really dumb resale prices. But they've been getting a lot of reissues and stuff lately, which has been nice. So yeah, Enthroned is like one of those classic bands, probably one of the first ever bands that anybody told me to get into and listen to. Aside from like Immortal and those types of bands. So
Yeah.
for me, I actually blind bought 2 CDs, which I don't do very much anymore, but I knew the artist on them, and I am such a huge fan of all of his other work, and that is Commodus. And
Mm.
Commodus is out of Australia, and actually I'm wearing the shirt today
Oh,
too. This is the new album, A Photo Wolf in Stained Glass, that just came out on Go to Warx. And now Go to Warx, it can be one of those labels that's super, like, I don't know what the word is, like trendy, I guess you could say. People go crazy for the releases, they sell out super fast, but I just stick with the CDs because the vinyls are generally pretty tough to get or very expensive. So
getting them over from over there, yeah.
yeah, so but this new album is fantastic. So Commodus is very unique in a sense that it's not just straightforward like lo-fi sounding black metal. He's got a very unique like howling style of vocals, where he also incorporates like heavy metal. You can definitely tell like heavy metal influences in his guitar work, and also like at times in some earlier albums he's done like punk rock. And so he blends that really well together, but it is still very much like that lo-fi raw black metal sound, and just ferocious as hell at times, but also, like I said, has those really super catchy riffs. Like they're really awesome, just rocking like heavy metal riffs, and just he blends it really well together. So I picked up the new album this year. Definitely going to be one of my favorite releases to come out this year. Just it's very unique. It doesn't really sound like a lot of the other, black metal that I listen to. I mean, just like that album cover.
Yeah,
Um, and
yeah. It's not in black and white there. He's not,
yeah,
he's not traveling in the forest,
well, right. He's got the corpse paint on. He's definitely holding a sword of some sort, but there's some flames back there.
Nice.
And then in that same order was a split that he did with Celestial Sword, who I was not familiar with at all, but I just wanted the side for Commodus's music. And Celestial Sword is more of a like dungeon synthy black metal band where they incorporate a lot of dungeon synth and a lot of ambience into their music, but also is that lo-fi raw black metal. And immediately became a fan as soon as I heard these tracks. And Commodus actually is featured on one of the tracks with Celestial Sword. And I believe it's also, I think it's either a two-man or a one-man band. I can't remember. So yeah, I blind bought these through Go to Warx and been super into it, like that lo-fi raw black metal sound, and with the dungeon synth getting incorporated into it now is like something that I am starting to get back into and listen to. And I was really obsessed with that when I first, started buying black metal. Like I think several of my videos was just all like Black Salice and Drowning the Light and like all those albums. So yeah, definitely check out Commodus. And then this split with Celestial Sword, it's got some constellations of something of metaphor, some long ass, smart album name that I can't remember. I'll link it in the description. I usually link it.
One thing I appreciate Melanie, is that me and you are pretty much the same when it comes to that. When it comes to butchering names,
Yeah.
I think me and you we should have a show just butchering names. I think it would be comedy hour for everybody. I'm sorry. I'm not, and I always apologize. I say, listen, I'm not doing it to be mean. I just really can't pronounce it. I'm trying, and it's a lot of times it just comes out the way it comes out, and whatever.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest thing is that obviously speech therapy didn't do so well for me sometimes growing up, but also it's just that they use like words that are just not in my vocabulary at all. So I'm like,
oh my gosh, yeah, new words. Yeah, I'm like, oh, that's a new word.
Yeah, like I look it up and then how to pronounce this word, and if I don't practice it like 20 times before I record the video, it's going to be said wrong. Like there's a couple of albums that I'm sure I'll butcher it on here. So
absolutely.
Yeah. What else have you been spinning?
Well, I guess sticking, I mean, the other big thing is when it comes to some of the black metal, black metal has always been based more European, right? That's like, right. Just like, when it comes to, the early death metal, we always say Florida. Remember Florida was the birthplace of death metal, so black metal is going to get their European thing. But we do have some good U.S. black metal bands, which is, which I feel don't really get too much recognition. And then there's one that actually has popularity, and I don't know if you've picked it up. Phil Ensemble's band.
Scour. Yeah, you know what? I'll be honest with you. The whole reason why I didn't listen to it is because it was Phil Ensemble's band. I was like,
Listen, if you put it on without you won't even his vocals on here is not even him. He literally sounds like some Norwegian dude. It's crazy.
Wow.
It's crazy. He's very that's the one thing you gotta give him his talent for, I guess, when it comes to that. He actually does, and then the band is fucking great. They if I put it on and don't tell you it's Scar or whatever, you won't know it's Phil or anything. They do a great fucking job. It's a really, really good album. For the Phil haters, listen, I get it. Pantera people, I get it. But if you're into any that you enjoy some type of black metal, especially us who are rookies, I think for a rookie, this is actually a good album that you could check out and enjoy. Again, discounting the fact that it's Phil from Pantera singing. I'm telling you, you listen to it. Have you even heard any of the tracks or no?
No, I haven't. But my biggest thing with Phil was like, obviously I love Pantera. Like I'm not afraid to admit that. Like Cowboys from Hell and is still one of my all-time favorite albums. And my biggest thing is that after Pantera, everything that he's ever done, I've never been a fan of, just because of the way his vocals are and just the style of music that he's playing. So no, I'll have to listen to it. Is it also like a super group too? Are there any other members in that band that are from?
I think there's a couple of members. I don't have it off the top of my head, but yeah, there is a few members from different bands in there, because this is like his fourth band. He's got like 4 or 5 bands.
He's got a lot, yeah.
And he does he does everything, and he runs this what's this called, Housecore Records. That's his label.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
So there's some bands on there too that he has, Housecore Records. But look, it doesn't hurt to give it a listen, and then after you listen to it, you're gonna tell me. Don't look at the video. Look for audio tracks so you could really sit there. Because if you watch the video, you're gonna look at it and probably cringe a little, saying that looking at it's Phil. Just listen to it. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. It's totally different, way different than whatever Phil would do as far as Pantera, Superjoint Ritual, any other stuff that he's done. But yeah,
the album cover alone, like the album cover alone, just you wouldn't think that that's a black metal album. Like I thought for sure Scour was like a hardcore band or something like that.
Yeah, it kind of got like the little, I guess it doesn't have the ultra, looking like branches sticking out.
Yeah,
trying to figure it out. But let me see. Let me open up the inside so you could see. So you could get the visual look. There he goes in all his glory.
Oh, honestly, it's kind of like a Ishan moment that he's having there, with the black button up and the nice sculpted beard. Okay, interesting.
And beyond, I think like I said, I'd rather you listen to the audio first so you could get a taste of it. The videos, I saw a couple of the videos that he did, and they're actually not bad. He got a couple upside down crosses, some pentagrams, and all that cool stuff. Really makes it look, evil and black metal. So, but his vocals, like I said, I was very, very impressed with the vocals. I was shocked to hear that his vocals could actually go to that level of that. You wouldn't even nowhere near. You listen to it, you don't even think it's him. I guarantee it.
That's crazy.
Right?
Yeah, I'll check it out. Well, for the most part, if anybody says listen to it and they think I like it, I'll listen to it. So yeah, I'll check it out after this.
Just look. Like I said, don't look at the video because you don't want to get the cringe.
Yeah.
Just look for the audio. Listen to it. Anyone, any of the stuff, because most of the stuff they have there, as far as the songs go, are pretty good. But just listen to it, and when you listen to his voice, I'm telling you, you're not gonna think it's him. You're not. And over here, and then of course, I think when it comes to the United States black metal, I think a lot of them are popping up over in Texas. I went and I picked up a couple of CDs from Francisco from ETD, Jamming Out Badass.
Nice.
He has some CDs for sale. Yeah, and I picked up these two. Well, this one is more of like a blackened death metal band, but if you listen to it, it does have more of a black metal sound to it, but they're black and death. Satanic Goat Ritual.
Oh yeah. So yeah. They're awesome. So I saw he was selling those. I need to message him. Yeah. All right. Thank you for reminding me. I saw that he was selling those. Yeah.
This one, it's pretty cool. This is about 23 songs on here. So it's basically off their demos and EPs that they had. So it's basically everything in one, so you got that. And then this band here, Pyre, that was the other one he had.
Okay. Yeah.
That's another Texas band from El Paso. You know, really, I like the inside. They always kill me with some of the stuff they be doing on the inside. That's really really cool.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then another one from Texas, which I'm a little upset that they broke up. That this was I think their only full length. Thy Feeble Savior.
Yeah. Oh, that he was. Oh God, they rule. Yeah, I
Yeah,
got several of their stuff through Go Throne Records. He was
yeah,
selling a
man.
lot of their stuff.
It's a shame, man. They're I mean, I was looking at their history, and I think they only had a couple of EPs and a demo
Yep.
or whatever. And
There's a
then this
split.
album,
Yeah. Yep.
I was like, dang, man, good stuff. And
Yeah.
then over here from let me see, the last I got a couple of ones here from the United States here. That this one is a really cool band from LA, Cult of Odom.
Cult of
This is
Odom.
like
I don't think I know that one.
it's you know some really
Oh,
fucking
that.
yeah,
Okay.
you know, you can't go wrong with this. And the cover, I just love that cover, man. It's like
Yeah.
the
It
wolf
looks
that,
like,
it's like
is that
crazy. So
I'm trying to think. It looks like who does the Archgo paintings? God, I'm blanking right now. Oh, he's such a phenomenal artist. I'm so ashamed of myself. But he looks similar to that art style. I can't think of it right now. People are going to be so mad at me for not being able to. Chris Moyen. Chris Moyen. It looks similar to that.
yeah, and then I got what was it when Revit was doing one of his videos? I went and I found one of the bands that he recommended. Judas, it's
Judas
Italian.
Iscariot. Oh yeah,
Yes,
he's from Illinois.
you say it
Yep.
right. You say it right. I can't.
Yeah. So Judas Iscariot. Yeah, that's another one that a lot of my friends like. You gotta get into him and
Yeah, you know,
so
again, another band. Not no. I mean, he was a one man band anyway,
right.
but he's not doing nothing no
Not
more.
doing it anymore. Yep.
Yeah,
That stuff
and,
again flies off the shelves when it gets reissued. When bootlegs come out, like people eat it up as fast as they possibly can.
and then if you ever get a chance, I mean, I don't know if you've got to hear this band. We got to share the stage with them. We played with them with Mordant Red when they came to New York. Satanic Magic.
Nice. I don't
Yeah,
think I've heard that either.
yeah. If you go on their Bandcamp, this is their EP. This is the only release they have right now. You know, really, really good New York black metal. Can't you know these guys? You know they're fucking they're a 3-piece band. They did a killer cover of they did a Slayer cover when we played with them. They fucking killed it. But yeah, I mean, got to represent New York. So you know we got Satanic Magic.
Awesome.
Really really good stuff. So. Yeah, that little side. That's my little CDs there. I got a couple of cassettes. I'll show you.
Speaking of Mordant Red,
there you go.
I actually he also I just got. Oh, I actually just remembered I didn't pull 2 things yet. Right here, I also bought this one that yeah
yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
I got the cassette to go
but
because
it got
you know
sold out.
yeah. So I grabbed this and then I had this a while back when he was selling these through after he first started his YouTube channel. This shortly came out. So I figured, yeah, I would show some love to Mordant Red, but this would also be a good time to talk about the Joaba Fest
Yeah.
in Houston, Texas in January, where Mordant Red, Hexea, Eat the Decay, which is Francisco's band. They fucking rule. Awesome,
Yes, they
awesome
do.
band. And Insecticide, and I can never say that band's name, but he was just playing them on his channel the other day, and
Luke Juarez.
it's something like that. Yeah.
Luke Juarez.
So Houston, January 17th. I'm actually going to this. I booked my flight, booked my hotel. Going to go hang out with Lee, Miss A, all the Fomorian guys. Get to meet Revik from Mordant Red. So I'm super pumped about that.
Tone Joker,
Yeah.
I think is going.
Yep. Yeah. So I'm super pumped. So back to Lee. I got the Go Fucker demo that he released exclusively to Realms of Rock Eddie's thing. So this is really good. I like a lot of Lee's like one-off stuff that he does. Really old school tape with the label printed, like label maker prints. So yeah, figured. But yeah, US black metal, man. I think people kind of joke on it a little bit, and I find, you know, I mean, aside from like the normal ones like Wolves in the Throne Room, Lada, like those bands, like I like to find the more underground. So those albums I saw, I'll have to check them out because I'm sure I'll really like them. But
yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, with some of the stuff they're putting out, um, especially with some of the. I think Lee is getting a little bit more and more of a push, and maybe some of those things could get reissued somewhat. I mean, maybe we'll get a nice little compilation CD. Lee, come on,
yeah,
I mean,
right.
get
I was
something going on. Yeah, why not,
I
man?
was
Why not?
giving him a hard time today because he doesn't think that he'll ever play live, and I was like, you should just play one exclusive like live underground show, tell people, knock it out for one night, have it recorded, and then be done and never do it again. And then we can be those jerks that are like, we were there. 10
Yeah.
years from now. He's like, I don't know about that.
I mean, it'll be interesting. I mean, yeah, that's like I think the one downfall for a lot of those guys who are one man bands.
They don't play live,
You
yeah.
know, it's they put out great music and great albums, and they can never play live because it's like they gotta if they have friends who could fill in, it'd be great, but it's never gonna sound like them since they're the ones who do the music. It's not gonna sound the same. It's not gonna have the same feel, and I get it. I get
Yeah.
it. Sometimes, but
I
yeah,
mean, it works out for some. Like Lamp of Murmur, when he first came into the scene, he was just one man, and of course, he's super popular now. Like, and because he got so popular, he was able to find musicians, and he's been touring with like an actual band and stuff now. And similar to Worm, I don't know if you're familiar with Worm on 20 Bucks Spin. He was one man funeral. He's Funeral, Black, and Death Doom for the most part. Like he was one man, and then of course he started to raise the popularity, and he got a couple of other members in the band and was touring. So, but yeah, I mean, some people just don't want to do it. They just want to put the music out to put the music out, and the live thing is not just the thing, and that's cool too. And I often find that those members that don't ever play live end up being like the real like culty things, like
no,
10,
yeah.
15 years from now.
Yeah,
So
I mean, and then like you get some certain like I guess I don't know. Did he what that go fucker, was it numbered or no?
I don't think so.
Because sometimes when you get the thing where a lot of them they put out a certain amount, they usually have them numbered or whatever. No, right?
No, but I know it was limited to a very small run. It's just a simple,
Oh,
yeah. I love his Warhammer
I
emblem
love that
too.
logo.
Yeah. So
I love
no,
the
but I kept the nice little thanks, Melanie, from Eddie in the tape. Whenever somebody sends me like a note or something like that, I always, put it in the release that I got it with. I'm very
yeah,
sentimental like that. So, but yeah,
absolutely.
no, no, it's not numbered, but I know that it's limited, like maybe I don't remember what the limitation was. So, but that's not why I got it. I got the support, but
Yeah, I mean, since you were there pulling out, I got I guess a couple of cassettes that I could let you see that I've been into. You ever heard of this band called Funeral Winds?
Oh yeah, yeah. NWN just recently reissued their stuff not too long ago.
This
That's
this was a compilation. I guess I guess their EPs and
Yep.
demos and stuff. I'm like so upset because I really would like to get more of their stuff, but it's hard to get.
It is hard to get. Yep.
I
Yeah.
was
So
I was lucky to get this one. I think I got it off. Again, I do a lot of my eBay stuff, and I be finding stuff on eBay that just like, oh shit, and this was one of them. I was so happy with this one, and yeah, I know they're from the Netherlands, and then this band here, which would be the equivalent to Super Raw in the bathroom sounding, but I deal with it. This band, Pyre of Roses.
I don't
This
even
is
know who that is.
they have is both their demos, demo 1 and 2. They're from they're here from the United States. I forgot where, but I know they're here from the United States. It's a nice little black little thing, nothing crazy, just the forest,
The
you
Force.
know,
Of
the
course.
forest. Of course it's black metal. It's got to show a forest. It's black metal. But yeah. So the people who say, "Oh, Barry hates that sound," look, I got proof. I got a band who did probably their demo in the toilet, and I enjoyed it. Okay, so
I mean, like Black Salice and Sanguine Relic are so raw, like to the point of where you really just can't make out their vocals unless you have it really cranked up and you're really listening. Um,
Yeah.
and like I really have to be in the mood for that, but when I'm in the mood for that, I am in the mood for that. Like that is the style of black metal that I find that I'm listening to. And I get the comments all the time, like, how can you listen to that? Like, do you even know what's going on? And I'm like, yeah, I know what's going on. I heard that
Yeah,
riff. Yeah.
yeah. Why? In the mind, like, but it just sounds good, you know? It
Yeah.
just sounds
It's
good.
just something about it. It's like that there's like a catharsis to it that just makes you like really like immerse the music in a different way. And like I said, sometimes it's a nice break from the Brutals and the Gurgs that I'm always listening to. um,
Yeah. And
one
then,
album I'll show really quickly, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, you sketchy." Is the new War Moon Lord album. Um,
oh,
so I forgot. This is some weird ass name. Sarcro Saint Demon Pathy. I don't know, on Werewolf Records. So Werewolf
Werewolf
Records, as you
Records,
know,
that's a label that pulls out a lot of those sketchy bands.
yeah, yes. Well, I mean, it's Satanic War Master, and there's a lot of debate there on that. But I could not stay away from this because their first album was so good, and they are very much, I mean, like very much in the vein of like Satyricon, early Dimmu Borgir. They've got a lot of like synths in there, and just this new album is very good too. And as soon as it came out, I got the promo for it, which is funny because I'm in Hell's Headbangers promos, and so they always send Werewolf Records too because that's who they distro out of and do PR for too. And so I listened to it and I was like, you know what, I'm buying it. It's good, and I don't know, none of it. Like it's dorky black metal, like you can just tell it's like dorky black metal.
So
So
what? But here's the thing:
oh,
what would make them sketch? Oh, that's dope. Yeah, that's cool.
just because they're on Werewolf Records, that's all. Because Werewolf
Oh,
Records has put out
okay,
Goat
all right.
Moon
So,
and
so now
yeah,
it's guilty by
Guilty by
association.
Association. Yeah.
I see. I see. Okay. All right. So,
But but
it's
again, I have family members who are racist, far right Republicans who hate immigrants, but
it's it. What's that? There's another band. Actually, I think I did. Did I pick up one of their stuff? I think I picked up a CD, and they're a sketchy band too. There's another sketchy band that makes the waves. Goat Moon. I don't know if
yeah,
you ever
Goat
heard of
Moon.
Goat Moon. So and you know who put me onto Goat Moon was Tone Joker.
Tone. Yeah.
Yeah, Tone Joker. He's such a bad influence, man. Damn. So he put me and I when I started doing a little digging about, and I'm kind of like when you do the digging on some of the stuff that's considered that they label them NSBM, and then you sit there, they label them NSBM, and then sometimes it's like, are they really? Like, I mean, some
Yeah.
of the stuff singing there, it's all pagan stuff, pagan this, country that. I mean, I guess maybe if you start talking about how you love your country, that's considered NSBM too, to a degree. But
Yeah. I think with Goat Moon, at least from what I've understood, is like in his very early days, like he used to have swastikas like on
yeah,
his
I did
album
hear about
covers.
it.
Yeah.
I did
But
hear
and
about
then I think I don't remember what the album is. I know I've heard it and I really enjoyed the album. One of them had like a white power song, but uh, but other than that, like I think to be honest with you, I think since then he's been like, nah, like that's not
it.
who
It
I
was like
am.
he went through a phase.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of these, and I've said this too. A lot of these guys know like it sells. Honestly, like there's a really big underground market for it. I mean,
Yep.
several of my friends who are on YouTube, like they show off this stuff all the time. So I don't know. There's a shock value to it. I think that's also kind of an addiction.
You know
So
what's funny too? Now we talking about. Now we get back into the sketchy talk. When I remember those tapes that I bought, that I told you, right, that I said 3 out of the 4 were sketchy. So I was doing my update on Discogs for my inventory. So as soon as I put one of the band's names on there to do the search to figure out which one it is, a warning came up. It says this album it cannot be sold because blah 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 blah
yep.
blah. I said, holy shit.
Yep.
Yep, they already red flagged them that you don't even try to sell it on Discogs because of who they are
Yeah.
and whatever.
Yeah,
I was
people
like,
get mad about that, and I'm like, well, you got to think about it. Discogs is a business too, and if that's goes against business policy that they have, like they have every right to say that they're not going to sell it on there, but you can still get it on eBay, and there's still tons of distros overwhere, and
okay, you know,
yeah, yeah.
that's right.
So yeah, I try not to, obviously I don't like buy that stuff, but there's been times where I didn't know, like I just legitimately did not know. I heard the album, I really liked it, I bought it, and then I showed it. I'll never forget. I showed Moon, was it Moon Citadel? I don't remember now. I showed that album, and somebody came into the comments like, Stormlight is in a band that's like literally like Nazi, like that's all their music is. And I was like, no, I didn't know that because I bought the album, I liked it, didn't think to go and research everything about it. So
Yeah,
like that, it happens.
yeah, that's the oh, man, that whole thing there with that. I mean, look, if it is what it is, then you make the determination to say, you know what, like maybe I won't deal with it no more. Sell it, get rid of it. You don't need
I
to
just
talk
traded
about it
it.
no more.
Yeah, I
That's
traded it
it.
away after that. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
okay, well, you know what? I don't, my wife is Jewish. I don't really feel good about keeping those that kind of, I mean, she would probably be disappointed in me if she knew that I was,
yeah,
supporting.
yeah. Start giving you side eye every time.
Like,
You know,
yeah, like,
she'll pick it up and show it to you, like, and just give you a look, like, yeah.
but I mean, there was nothing on it. I mean, you would have never known. But yeah, I mean, it happens. But again, death metal still has the same. It's just not as people just don't blow it up as much.
There are some death metal bands too that fall in that realm too. It's not only black metal. People have that thing, and I think we made a joke about that one time where we were discussing stuff like that. There are some in all genres. Let's just talk about all genres of music. There's somebody talking bad about another race or whatever, but it doesn't get as politicized as it comes to certain genres. But
Yeah,
other genres could get away with it. And to me, look, if you're gonna let a few get away with it, everybody just gonna have to get away with it. Then that's it. I mean
but
that.
yeah,
Just
I
I'm not.
also think of it as like the religion thing. Like a lot of metal music is very anti-Christian and very like burn the churches, fuck Jesus, like all that, like deicide. Come on, everybody knows deicide is. Um, and I'm like, there are a lot of people that really do not like that and like are very offended by it. And for years, like the satanic panic that went on, they tried so hard to censor it and
Yeah,
everything. Like,
yeah.
I
It's very hypocritical. That's why I say it becomes very hypocritical. You can't. Uh, uh, you know, you got bands who just want to destroy the church and say it bluntly, fuck the Christians, kill the Christians, hang the Christians, cut their heads off, and it's good to go. But if you got one person who maybe, discloses another race that they don't like, you want to ban them completely. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying that what they should talk about. Yeah, that's their own opinions. But again, we go with the whole concept. If it's there, don't listen to it. Don't buy
you're
it.
right.
Don't
Yeah.
enjoy. That's it. That's all you got to do. You don't need to start talking about it and then give them leeway, and then you make a thing for that. It just because then you look like a hypocrite. How can you go and say, oh, don't listen to that band because they talk about Nazism or whatever, but meanwhile you're going to talk about a band who wants to destroy the church and burn down people on cross or
Christian
whatever.
race. Yeah.
It is what it is. You just can't be hypocritical. You just can't.
Yeah. Yeah. There it goes across everything with those kinds of things. So yeah, I bought the War Moon Lord, and I told myself I probably wasn't going to show this on here just because it was Werewolf Records, but I was like, you know what? It's a really good album.
Hey, if
And
it's
it's
good, it's
just
good. Yeah, if
yeah,
it's
and
good, it's good.
there's nothing Nazi about it. So no lyrics, no nothing. I don't even know who the guys are in the band, so I couldn't even tell you. But again, I bought that. But then again, I go back to, the softer side and I listen like Panopticon, US black metal on Byron Recordings. Austin is an incredible human being. He's an amazing musician. A lot of his albums are very like deeply personal, a lot of, they can get a little bit, like very personal, like this one, the Rhyme of Memory, was around. I think there was like a lot of like forest fires and stuff like that going on, and people were getting like losing everything, and so there's a lot of that in this. And then and then again Into the Light, which is just such a like, these are very like emotive albums. Like they're not just aggressive, hateful sounding. Like there's a lot of strings and piano and like clean guitar. Like it goes back and forth. And so a lot of the times I am in the mood for like that more atmospheric style of black metal, and I'll listen to stuff like this. So, and Panopticon I've also said is like one of my all-time favorite, black metal bands. And then I got a comment that was like, Panopticon's not black metal. They're not hateful enough. And I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, get out of my comments. Don't watch the videos. But I was gonna ask, do you listen to any of that like more atmospheric style of black metal? Have you segued into it?
You know what is, what's funny? You say that with some of that black metal, it almost falls into that realm of like, black metal doom. It's got like that doom element in it. So I do, yeah, a lot of that atmospheric stuff I do enjoy because of that. And I'm, I've said in a few videos that I've been getting hardcore into like doom metal. Doom has just become like a big part. That is a lot. Like most of my listens when I'm relaxing has been listening to doom metal, and so when atmospheric black metal, yeah, I do have some in there that I'll put on, and you'll just hear some things going on. Just a guy, yeah, and you just like you just wallow into his screams and
like
mood and stuff. It's cool.
So I made a joke last year. I did a year end. We always do like a year end list with the Heavy Metallurgy crew of our favorite albums of the year. And I made a joke about how one of my favorite black metal albums last year was an Opsky album. And Opsky is very like depressive sounding. Like maybe it's DSBM, I don't know, but it's very depressive, very atmospheric. And I made a joke about how for a while there, like that was the first album I was listening to every morning. I was putting that on, getting my coffee, and just sitting there, just wallowing in just self-pity and like, yeah, like just really into it. And I get into that stuff. I don't understand it. Like, so I pulled this album, Ara's Eiger, which is on Deborah Morty. This came out last year. And this is very much that. It's a band from Switzerland. I think it's like their 6th or 7th album. And for the most part, they all sound similar. There's really not much variance in them, but there's that like emotive feeling that it gives you, that just like the sadness that it brings to you of like, I don't understand it, but like, again, I've been listening to this a lot too. Like, and I always get like, people always make fun of me. They're like, why do you just like get so into the sad style of black metal? I was like, I don't know. I think
there's nothing wrong with it. I think it kind of just gives you that. Sometimes you need that. It's like a relaxation. It's just a mental stress that it eases you out a bit, and you just listen to. And besides your pain, you're listening to somebody else's pain, and it gives you that sense of,
it's almost like a dopamine rush that I get. Yeah, it's like a dopamine rush. And it's not like I'm like pulling out a journal and writing in it while I'm listening to it. I'm not doing that, like I'm not sitting here writing a book or anything. I'm just listening to it and just like, I don't know, there's like a relatable aspect to it. But then, I always go back to like putting on something else that's like completely way different pretty much for the rest of the day. So it's just whatever reason I get it really into that stuff. So, but yeah. And then the other thing that's similar, kind of in line with this is actually a new release, Sakna, which you're probably going to see this on a lot of YouTubers coming up because they've been promoting the hell out of this. So this is on Hypotherial Records, and Matt from Altars of Madness did a whole entire review on this album because he got it sent to him. So this is a one-man black metal band that unfortunately ended up committing suicide back in early 2000s, I think. I might be wrong about that. And his brother then pretty much found all of his works and put it all out onto an album. And it has a Windir or Vindir, I think I said that wrong, like cover on here along with all of his original stuff. And I love Vindir. Like I love Windir. Like that's very like folky style of black metal, but it's also got the rawer sound and like the atmospheric sound. So there's a big mixture of that. And again, another very like emotive style of black metal, but also just at times beautiful sounding and at times super aggressive and like evil sounding. So I definitely highly recommend this. This literally just came out, and I think they're a label. Maybe I think they're based out of Canada, but Canada's cheap to get shipped to the US. But yeah, I think it actually might say. Does it say the story in here? No, it doesn't. Okay, so he passed away in 2011.
Oh wow.
So yeah, but yeah, it's got pretty much all of his works, and then he does a Windir Soknader, if you're familiar with that album. That's like their first album, I think, or second.
Okay.
So yeah, it's really, really good. So Matt did the review. I listened to it, loved it, and then I believe Sean the Beast actually recently just talked about it too on his channel. So it's making the
Sweet.
YouTube rounds now. So definitely
Sweet.
cannot recommend this enough. It is very, very good.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I figured I'd show you since since I have you. I just got this. Was this yesterday? Yeah. Yes. Yesterday came in. Sometimes you get packages, you forget exactly when the hell they came in. But there's this band I picked up as an EP. This band called I think it's again pronounced the name wrong. Sigrium. I think it's a Sigrium from Germany. So just for the fools that hate us putting up picture disc.
Oh, shame on you. You know they sound like crap, right? They're only meant to be put on your wall.
Okay.
Oh, that's sick. There we go.
Okay.
That's a really cool picture disc.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. So yeah, I got this for the guy I was dealing with on eBay. I got it for like $13.
Wow.
So
nice.
I was checked out the band and stuff. I said, oh, okay, they're from Germany. Came out in 2000. It's Sigrium. Isegrim. In case I'm pronouncing it wrong, but yeah,
sounds familiar.
Yeah, really, really cool shit. Really, really cool. It's a 5-song EP, and I saw it. I said, ooh, I want to get that because I know it's gonna piss off people.
Yeah, I have a lot of picture discs. For a while there, I had a whole wall of them, similar to kind of how J-Dog has in his office, where it was like I have several King Diamond ones, I have several Metallica ones, I think I have a Deicide one. Like whenever it's like something that just looks awesome, if it's a really cool picture disc, like I'll get it. Like yeah. Oh, what else? Kiss. I have like every Kiss picture disc probably ever put out in existence, which is
I think
ridiculous.
the one picture disc that I've been hunting for that I want to possess in my hand, but I know it's just too damn expensive to get. Everybody knows I'm a huge Manowar fan.
Yeah, they have them.
The Kings of Metal picture disc. When I first heard Manowar was off that. My friend invited me to his house and we were listening to it. We listened to it on that picture disc. And I just remember looking at it and the cover and oh man, it's more for nostalgia for me to try to find it. But I've been looking it up and the people selling for these ridiculous prices, $75, $85, $100 and something. I'm like, oh, that's okay.
Yeah, there's one picture disc that I think I might actually would spend the money on. It is Dissection Storm of the Light Bane. There's like a picture disc version that came out, and I don't know if it's actually like a legit one, but I know that it sells for ridiculous prices. And if I ever came across one for a right price, I probably would buy it just to have it. I don't need it.
Hey,
but
you know what? If you'd be surprised too, and I think I do have that. I do have that Manowar on my. If you have an eBay account, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Put that picture disc in and put it as a saved search, and you'll get alerts every once in a while. And you never know. You might get that one that's in that park range, and then you could negotiate. And hey, if you could get it, hey, if you really the Manowar one, forget it. I got it on there, and I keep getting alerts. And at some point I just stopped because the freaking prices for them are just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So. I kind of gave up, but I'll go back now that I'm talking about it. I might just go back and check again.
Is it High Roller that recently reissued some of their stuff? I feel like High Roller should reissue it and they would do picture discs, but I don't know. I can't remember now. So I only have like one or two more albums that I pulled. One of them is Stangargagel. I can't ever fucking say this name. I don't remember where they're from. I know about this band because of Ben Brainsmasher. He's like obsessed with them.
That's pretty cool.
This is very much again, that like dungeon synthy lo-fi sounding black metal, but you can actually make out the vocals. So this is
Okay.
just an this is just an EP that came out last year. They actually have a new album out this year that came out on Medieval Prophecy Records, which is a little bit tough to get in the US. Nuclear War
Oh
Now
wow.
does distro their stuff. So this is where I got mine, was off of Nuclear War Nows, but they don't have the new album yet. But I saw that Hell's Headbangers had the cassette tape, but I don't want it on cassette. Funny enough, I actually like am picky about formats when it comes to certain things. If I own this on vinyl already, I'm going to try to get the vinyl. But it's very good. So they like several like dungeon like synthy works into it, but then there's also that like really aggressive like lo-fi black metal that they mix in well, and they just do it really really well. So this is a pretty popular band now. I mean, naturey, you know,
Cool.
nothing too scary looking. But yeah, this is one of the albums I've been spinning a lot. I showed this off on a black metal update recently. So, but yeah, it's very good. I definitely recommend it. It can be a little bit very like relaxing, and then you're like, oh, hello, because then it gets like aggressive and and like, you know, sounding like that. So it is very very good. Again, a lot of my black metal picks I get off of people from YouTube because they show off the stuff and they talk about it, and I don't know what it is, and so I go listen to it, and if I like it, then I end up buying it. So
As a matter of fact, since you mentioned that you know you mentioned more like that, or you say dungeony and you know
yeah,
like that feel of you know that weird goth. We'll call it like a gothicy feel, right?
yeah.
I think that's what we'll get with that. This band too is like that, I think in that same vein. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
Oh yeah,
Abhor.
Abor. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, they're
yeah. They're
freaking.
good.
Yo, man,
They're
man,
so good. Especially that album is so good. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's like when as soon as you started to, I said, "Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot I got this one over here." These guys, when you listen to it, you just get that thing where you're freaking escaping a castle or some shit,
Yep,
you know.
yep.
And
That's
I don't know
exactly what it's like.
I don't know what they're putting in the pasta in Italy, but they're getting bands like this up there, man. But yeah. And be careful because you know, looking at this cover, they might think it's a big, you know, it's a freaking racist band because of the hood.
No, it's red.
Dumbass.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
they're from Italy. He's trying to stab you. Ugh. Okay.
No, I mean that's if anything, that's more of like a very occult style
Yeah,
of a
but
album
you got
cover.
the ignorant people, especially those ignorant people who go on there who swear they're bigger metalheads than you, and I'm like, come on, man, this, okay, come on, stop it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they're really good. Avogor also is, you know, legendary black metal band that so many people absolutely love. They're another A band. I feel like there's like so many A black metal bands that I have. I probably could have pulled so much other stuff. I actually have a relatively large black metal collection that people probably wouldn't think, just because, you know, I go in waves where I find that that's all I'm buying, but I don't like fixated on my channel because, you know, it's predominantly a death metal channel. So I do have that album. I actually think I got that off of Nuclear War Now too. Nuclear War Now is like one of the absolute best places to buy music sometimes, man. Like actually most of the time. So
Mm-hmm.
I gotta get out to YK's record store someday in Austin. That would be just, I would just
Yeah,
drop
you could just
hundreds.
imagine the hall you'd be coming out of there with,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I be buying Blasphemy shirts, and I don't, you know, I like Blasphemy. I have all their stuff. Like, do I listen to it often? No, but it's there. You know, I want it. Blasphemy, Beharit, and like Beharit's one of those bands that I've really struggled with getting into some of their stuff, and then others I really enjoy. Like they have a very hit or miss discography for me. So, but yeah, man, I'm gonna
Absolutely.
be just all out on black metal after this conversation now because I'm thinking about all these things that I haven't listened to in a while.
And it's funny, you talk about certain, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, and then you'll want to go back into listen to them again just to get that refreshment.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
think so. The final album that I pulled, and this is probably like the most popular album that I'm gonna show off. It's not Black Braid. Don't worry, people.
Oh, it's funny. That's the first thing I thought about.
No, people get so triggered, man, when they're like, "Oh, come on."
The band is good. I like Brad. I think
Yeah,
they're a good band. There's nothing wrong with that band. Shoot.
phenomenal live too. Holy shit, John in Black Braid, he's a great performer. His vocals are exactly what you hear on the album. Just the whole band is phenomenal live. But no, this is actually a band that toured with them recently. Dodstritz, I think is how you say
Oh,
it.
I've heard of them. Yeah.
Okay, this is on Wolves of Haiti, Nocturnal Will. This came out was it last year? I don't remember. This is probably my favorite black metal album right now. Like I have played this so much. And this is that epic style of black metal where they just go into like really long stretches of where it's just completely like jamming out in like very like emotional style, like just almost it's almost got like a medieval style to it.
Yeah.
And this album is phenomenal, and their other albums are really good too, but this is the one that I first heard them. So they recently,
they're from the United States?
I think so, actually. Let me see. I don't remember. I don't think so because of the name of the band. I think they're from Sweden and the Netherlands. So
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and actually I'm pretty sure all of their lyrics are in another language too. No, they're not. Never mind. But but yeah, phenomenal band. And Wolves of Haiti is another label that was hard to get their stuff in unless somebody distributed it, but now they have a US store. So I'm super excited about that. Yeah, so this is phenomenal. Some people consider it generic, but I don't think so. I think it's great musicianship.
It's not going to be generic to us, Melanie.
Right, yeah. So, and guess what? Guess what? It is on black vinyl.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I didn't get the colored version.
You didn't get the colored? How dare you?
I got black. Honestly, black metal, black vinyl, whatever. I don't care. It kind of just seems wrong though.
You're out of the vinyl color committee.
Like it kind of does seem wrong though to like get a black metal album and it's like this pretty pink, blue, red, white splatter. You know what I mean? So it'd be kind of weird if they pressed it on that. I mean, it's kind of weird with death metal too, but whatever.
Speaking of, I got the. Oh man, I put it away already. The New Eternal Bleeding. Have you the New Eternal Bleeding vinyl?
Yeah.
If you look, it's a whole freaking splatter of. It looks like a big peppermint. I'm telling you, I did a short. I did a 3-minute review short. If you get a chance, look at it. I play the vinyl. You'll see it. It looks like, I'm telling you, it looks like a big peppermint. It looks like big peppermint. I'm telling you, it's hilarious when you see it.
That's funny.
And that right there is funny because then I thought when I looked at it, I mean, it looks cool. Don't get me wrong, but then I'm thinking to myself, damn, this is the type of thing where people make fun of us for loving these fucking type of vinyls. It looks like it literally looks like a big ass peppermint.
Yeah. I know. There is this Cattle Decapitation album pressing that's called Trash Explosion, and it's literally every single color in like this amazing splatter, and it's so pretty for not a pretty album. And I'm like, I would kill to have. I know. I would kill to have that variant because it's such a work of art, but it sells for like $200, and I never gotten myself to get it yet because it was super limited. And they've never pressed it, or how that goes. But yeah. So that was my final pool. Do you have any other things that you wanted to talk about?
I got one more. I don't want to leave this guy out of here because this band right here. Let me just. I got to make sure I get the names correct because even though I know I won't get the name correct, but we'll see anyway. Where is it? Oh yeah, this band here is from Finland, and of course, when you see weird, logos, Finland. You're not gonna. The only way, and it's funny because I got this. I forgot. I think I got this through eBay, right? So I'm there doing like a review, looking it up, and I'm looking at the logo. I'm like, what the hell? I didn't want to feel like digging through my eBay stuff. This band called Sword to Get or something like that. Yeah, so see the logo? Look at that. Can you tell me what the hell that says?
No, but that looks like some like evil mysticism black metal just based off of.
So it's this band's from Finland. Sword Get It. Again, I'm pronouncing it. Like I said, I'm not butchering names on purpose. Okay, is the back of it. I think it's on Werewolf Records.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they might be guilty by association, but as far as I know, I checked the band out. They're not like that or anything. It's a one-man band from Finland, and the name of this album is called Nat av Tusindotful. So there you go. I think I actually pronounced that right. Ooh,
Yeah, I think Werewolf puts a lot of bands from Finland out, which would make sense because I believe that's where they're based out of.
This is actually, I mean, it's got some good atmosphere as well. It's a one-man band, pretty good. I think this was the only full-length release this guy put out. So I think he got like a couple of demos and I think an EP or a split, because when it comes to black metal artists, a lot of them have like this slew of releases and a lot of them are splits, EPs, demos. And then like out of like 25 releases, there's like 2 full lengths, you know, So, but nah, his is still pretty short. I think they've been out since 2021 or 2022. So, yeah, if you find it and you see it, I think it's worth getting.
That's
cool. Everything's in the in the language, so you can't really you're not gonna know. I don't know nothing that's going on here. I gotta put a translator. But it sounds cool.
I love the black and white aesthetics of that album cover too. Just when like that's always like appealing to me. And whenever like I'm admitted like album covers really do sell me sometimes. If I see something, I'm like, well, that looks like something I would like, and then I usually listen to it.
When you buy it blindly, yeah, sometimes, and I think that's what happened with that one. To be honest with you, because a lot of times when I do go on eBay and I look for stuff, if I see a vinyl I want to get, I'll go into that guy's store, I'll see what he has, and I say, oh, okay, I see something there, and I said, and I might have checked what the band was. I said, okay, you know what? Throw it in there too, and he'll give me a deal. And then I get it, and I listen to it here for the first. I don't even listen to it. I just get it, and I was pleasantly surprised. But then, of course, I don't understand a damn word he's saying. I can't read the language too well, so I'm not gonna sit there translating everything. So it's on Werewolf Records. So if he is talking about killing Puerto Ricans, oh well.
Man, it's funny. You're a cop killer and you're a retired cop, and you might be killing Puerto Ricans too.
Hey, if that's the case, hey, you know what? Hey, you know what? He's doing it well in his fantasy world. There, it ain't happening to me here. So, but yeah, look again. Get back to that. Look, I got that one kind of blindly. It's all in what's the language they speak in Finnish? So it's all in Finnish. I was surprised to even get the title in there, and I'll listen to it. It sounds cool. He's singing in his language. It just goes with the music. So what, man?
That is like Finland is a bucket list place for me to go visit. So there in Norway, I know like black metal still not. I still consider it like to just be like a very new thing for me. But to go to Norway and do all the like black metal stuff there would be so fun. Yeah.
And Norway, don't think that Norway doesn't take advantage of black. All right, because I heard they got themselves like a museum over there now.
Yep.
I forgot.
Yep.
Yeah, they got a museum out there, just a black metal museum. So they could talk all that crap about them being basically a Christian country or whatever, but they'll have no problem taking your money if you want to go in there and see a black metal museum.
Yeah, and Gall's got his art museum out there too, which I've heard that he like just hangs out and chills with you if you go there. So that's kind of cool too. So
that's cool. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, look, at least it make the trip worthwhile, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And I think this guy's store, I don't know if they reopened his store. The Euronymous' old store in Norway.
Yeah, it got burned down. Right? I think they did. Yeah. I think there was like a big, I don't know if it was GoFundMe, but they did a big like fundraiser, and I'm pretty sure it was reopened. But yeah,
because I saw I don't know what channel it was. I remember they said they went over there. They went down to the basement. They still had the whole black metal thing up there. The spray paint was still there, so it became like this big tourist attraction and stuff. So I think that would be something worth checking out.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I would definitely go do that. I mean, I feel like that's almost like a metalhead staple to do. Like if you're in Norway, that's what you go do. Is you take a picture in front of the black metal.
So gotta put that on the bucket list, man. Gotta put it on the bucket list.
Yeah, do you ever notice on when Trev and Toasty are doing their stream, whenever they have Miss A like doing her "How's Your Stupid Day," she's sitting in front of the black metal like door. Yes. I love that. I would think. Yeah, I would think it'd be hilarious if somebody just ever came out to like where they live, their property, not knowing like anything about Lee or them, and then they see that, they would just automatically assume that like they're sacrificing humans or something.
What was the last video they did, which was hilarious? That you see the black metal thing there, and all of a sudden they're in a supermarket. I'm like,
yeah, they're in an Amish supermarket. Yeah.
He's like, what's this black? Wait. Somebody might be looking at that. Ooh, look, black metal. And then they see a
Yeah.
supermarket like, what?
Yeah.
Something going on here?
Or like when he was driving through McDonald's trying to get an iced coffee.
Oh, no, yeah, it was a Starbucks. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
sorry, yes.
Starbucks. He's like, I just want an iced coffee. That was hilarious. That was so
Man.
fucking good.
They're
That's
doing
never
doing good work over there. Doing great work over there. I want to shout out the latest Toast stream that they did with Toasty and Trev on Sunday. They had the oh god, I'm completely blanking on the coffee place now out in Connecticut.
The heavy metal. Was it heavy metal coffee? No, horror something. I think it was.
Yeah. Oh god.
Yeah.
I'm so blanking. But anyway, that was pretty cool. And I have it bookmarked on my laptop. And I started following him on Instagram. So horror themed coffee. So awesome. Now I'm gonna look it up because now I feel bad. I brought it up and I'm not even saying the name. Let me pull up Shred.
Yeah, it's cool. And I think I missed it because because they go on. I think it's 8:00 our time, right? And Trevor, we got something. We're trying to set up something with Trevor where he wants me, Tone, and Rich to get on to do something in the intro. So I think he got to set up for the 14th.
Okay,
so we're gonna get on there, the 14th. And I think he wants to do something with me, considering I used to be former law enforcement. So he wants to do something about that on one of. He says he's gonna pick a day and get something hooked up with that. He wants to put me on there to talk about it and stuff like that. It's okay, I mean, I got no problem with that. But Sundays is kind of weird. So we would usually do early Sundays, if anything. Because you need. I got my wife for doing things or whatever, and we do stuff during the day. So in the evening time is kind of rough. So I usually jump in like when they're already like almost finished with the stream. I'll go into the comments and stuff. And I have time in the beginning, I'll jump in real quick. But that California time, that 3 hour time, it's crazy.
I always watch it the next day when I'm working. It's like my morning podcast, basically, because the time that he streams, I'm usually like, kids have gone to bed. I'm sitting down watching Sunday Night Football, or doing something like that, hanging out with the wife. But it was Deadly Grounds Coffee. That's what it was called. So
okay.
So awesome, But they do a great show over there. I think I'm probably going to be in the end of December on there, so I'm pretty excited for that.
I believe he did mention you.
But
and then of course, don't forget, we got you and Anthony from Metal Miners coming in to do the roundtable with us.
So excited! I'm so excited to finally meet Anthony. He is man, I gotta get on him. He hasn't uploaded in a while. He has not uploaded in a while. But I'm so excited for that stream.
It's busy and stuff, so I gotta actually get a chance to send him a message. Haven't heard from him in a bit, so I'm gonna send him a message, see how he's doing.
Yeah. So, that was all that I had. To wrap up, anything new aside from what we were just talking about coming up on the show that you want people to know about?
We got a few things actually. I think this when is it? November. I gotta take out a calendar. Hold on.
I know today's the 11th, so it took me a minute to realize.
I know, we got you and Anthony coming on. I think it's the 21st, right?
Yep.
20. No, not the 21st. The 28th.
28th. Yeah.
28th. Yes, we got you and Anthony the 28th. We got come on. We got on the 23rd of this month, on that Sunday, we're gonna have Shane from Vulgar Display of Gaming. He's gonna be doing a roundtable with us, best album covers. So that's the topic of that day. We're gonna be doing that. And of course, I already mentioned on the 14th, we're gonna be on Shred Beard's channel. And also my band, Go to Mentis. We got a show coming up Black Friday. And if anybody's in New York or in Jersey, we're gonna be playing in Staten Island. So if anything, gonna have stuff put up there over there. I know it's on Black Friday. I know it was 4 bands. We're going on 3rd, so give us time to get, because it does take about, from where I live, it's gonna take about just about an hour to drive down to Staten Island, and then get there, set up, and have everything ready. That should be cool. And then we're in the process of doing new music.
Nice.
Yeah. We're hoping probably by February to start doing some type of recording.
Awesome.
And I think if anything, I don't know if I think Trevor has made an announcement. I don't think it's a secret that we're going to be doing something with Fomorian as far as Go to Mentis goes.
I don't. He has not said, but I had a hint of it because he mentioned it when I talked to him and Lee.
So I won't mention what it is. I just throwing it out there that we are doing something with them. And once it becomes an official announcement, I'm sure you guys will hear, but we are doing something with them, and I think you guys will enjoy it.
Cool.
But that's pretty much that. And Melanie, I want to thank you again, and and much luck and success to your channel. It's doing great. All right.
Thank you.
And
thank you for coming on. I appreciate you guys.
It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun.
Looking forward to hanging out with you, Tone and Rich again. But yeah, thank you all for watching. And I always end. I'll see you in the next one.
All right.